Today's earthquake and tsunami warning is
6.0 magnitude quake off the Oregon coast. This happened in the past few hours.
Again, with breaking news this morning, we're learning a preliminary magnitude 7.0 earthquake has just struck off the coast near Eureka, California.
Top of the morning to you guys. I want to thank you guys, everybody that reached out to me to make sure I was okay after the earthquakes over here on the West Coast. There was a 7.0 earthquake off the coast of California, Northern California, Eureka, I believe. And on the Oregon coast, not far from Bannon, there was a 6.0. They both went off real close together, is what I'm finding out. I only felt, I believe, the 7.0. I'm about 60 miles off the coast and about 50 miles from the border of Oregon and California. So my watch went off within, I forget what time it was, but when it went off, the cats got really alert. Like they stopped what they were doing and they just perked up and stood and looked around. And then all of a sudden my van just started shaking back and forth. I mean, it shook hard enough that the pots and pans hanging up were banging against each other. But now the cabin on the property here, it's an old cabin, over 100 years old. They didn't feel anything inside. So it must be because I'm on suspension, you know, my van, I'm in my van, the suspension and being on tires and stuff. I felt it. But I've never felt one that strong. And, you know, I was quite a ways away. I remember in the, I think it was around 94, 95, there was an earthquake off the Oregon coast. And I barely felt it in my house. I mean, like, could barely feel it. But this lasted probably 4 or 5 seconds. And then afterwards, there was 3 different times that I felt like an aftershock maybe, but it just barely moved the van. Just barely moved it. But man, it kind of gets your attention when things start moving around like that. Yeah, I've never been actually in an earthquake that, you know, knocks stuff down and stuff, but I've seen a lot of video and pictures of that. I've been in a lot of tornadoes. I'm from Oklahoma, and I've been in many, many big tornadoes. But I tell you what, for me, I'd rather be in a tornado than in a earthquake, because the warning system for a tornado, the warning system they have is much better, mo better, I guess you would put it. But it definitely, you get a bigger alert, you know, a longer alert about it before it happens. Because the alert I got on my phone, I don't know, I didn't, or on my watch, it just said 7.0 earthquake. And then right after I read it, the van started shaking. But I've been in tornadoes where they have warned you all day long. You know, the May 3rd tornado or May 2nd tornado years ago, we had just bought a house in Oklahoma, in my hometown, Jackdaw, Oklahoma. And the tornado that went off in that, they started warning us about 2 o'clock in the day, and I believe it hit about 6 p.m. So yeah, we had a good warning. And I mean, like they were saying, you have to take cover. This is a huge cell, a huge tornado cell. But yeah, I definitely would rather be in a tornado than an earthquake. Honestly, I wouldn't want to be in either one, but if I had to choose. What amazed me is how the animals reacted to it. I mean, right before I felt the van shake, the cats totally just like was high alert. It was crazy. A friend of mine that lives out here has horses, and she told me that the horses were running in circles and they have a gallop pen. They were just kind of freaking out, running in circles during, you know, right before it and when the ground was shaking. So I imagine it really stresses an animal out. You know, they can feel it. They're on the ground. They can feel it a lot more than we can, I think. But yeah, that was definitely more of a shake than I've ever felt before. And I'm guessing being in the van definitely made it where I felt it more. I was planning on today, I'm still going to do it, but I've got a headache kind of right now, so I'm going to wait a little bit. But I have that CarPlay thing that was sent to me. It's actually going to go in Robert's car. I'm putting it in his car and giving it to him, for him letting me use the car while he's been down south. But I'm gonna hook it up and show you guys that even if you have an older car, you can hook it up on the inside of that. Like my van's from the 70s, so I'm gonna put it in here, and I'm gonna use my power station, power it off my power station, because I don't have a cigarette lighter in my van. And then I will show you guys about it. But just to show that you can put it in an older vehicle, you don't have to be a newer vehicle. And it comes with a hardwire line. You can hardwire it in. You don't have to use a cigarette lighter, but I'm going to. And I'm going to let Robert put it in his car when he gets back, and he can have it. But just as a thanks for letting me use his car. That is awful nice of him letting me have that. It's been really cool having a vehicle that I can drive without unhooking my van or without getting rides with people, that I can drive my van or drive, to go do errands or whatever. It has been a great help. I do want to say before we end this video, prayers to everybody that was affected by that earthquakes. I haven't got a chance to see how bad things got, but prayers to everybody affected by it. I believe they called off the tsunami warning as what I seen this morning, so that's good. But yeah, that is I just prayers to you guys, and I hope you all are safe, and I hope there's not too much damage or any injuries. So much love to you all, and prayers. Okay, one more thing I want to talk to you guys about before I get off here. I found somebody I really want to interview. A small channel. You just hit 1,000 subs. Let me show them to you. Here we go.
I really love this place, but anyway, what I want to talk about today is I went over 1,000 subscribers on YouTube.
What I really like about this guy, I'm not going to tell you what he does. You're going to have to go check his channel out to find out. But it's such the most perfect way to give back and give to the community. I love what he's doing. It just praise him. I mean, way to go, Jack. That's awesome what you're doing. He don't know me. I've been subscribed to him for a few weeks, and but I'm going to see if I can get him for an interview. I think he'd be such an interesting interview, you guys. So go over and watch his channel. Give it a thumbs up. Subscribe to him. Let him know that Van Life with Gina sent you over there, and that way it'll bring his attention to my name, and I can maybe get him in an interview. I'm going to go leave a comment and see if I can find him on Instagram maybe and try to get him for an interview. But he, just what he does is wonderful and beautiful. So thank you, Jack, for all you do. All right, guys, that's all I got for you today. Thank you for being here. Thank you for being a part of the channel, a part of my journey, a part of my life. Much love to you all. Take care of yourselves. Take care of each other. Peace out.